Over 20 years ago, Jack Trout published what is today the legendary book, Differentiate or Die. The thesis of the book was obviously clearly put forth in the title. Today, that principle, that premise holds more true for the folks in this room than ever before. Today, you have to know how to effectively differentiate your solution from every other possible solution in your marketplace if you are going to get significant engagement. I want you to write this down and I want you to remember this. Marketing is the art of meaningful differentiation, especially for those of you in this room. There's my boy Kurt. Especially in this room where you are if you are in a competitive and saturated marketplace and or you market to sophisticated prospects, individuals that see lots of different offers from lots of different people. We're going to talk about differentiation. I would ask that for the next 45 minutes, just have an open mind and ask yourself how this can apply to what it is that you are doing. This is going to come together in the end. By the time I'm done, I promise you, you're going to have a system that you can take with you today and implement into your next webinar. I want to talk very quickly about, and this should be common sense to really everybody in here, differentiation. Why is differentiation so critical today, more so than ever before? In the majority of marketplaces, there are more advertisers, more campaigns, more funnels, more offers than ever before. People don't want to invest their time, energy, and effort into more of the same. What they want to know, and one of the very first things that they want to know from you is what's different about your thing compared to every other option I have. Like, what's different about what you're doing? What's different about your solution? What's different about your process? What's different about your methodology? Right? People don't want to engage with more of the same. People are interested in new, in different. That's what creates hope. That's what creates excitement. That's what creates curiosity. And so one of the very first questions, especially in saturated markets, especially in crowded markets, that you have to address is, what is different about this? What is different about your solution? Today, and you heard that I said marketing is the art of meaningful differentiation. What do I mean by meaningful differentiation? Right? Because different by itself is not enough. In other words, just being different, you having a red label on your supplement when every other supplement has a blue label means nothing to the marketplace, right? Just because you have red hair and everybody else in your marketplace has dark hair, blonde hair, means nothing. That's not meaningful differentiation. We're talking about differentiation that means something to your prospects. And I'm going to share with you a technique, a method that some of the best marketers on the planet use that you can use in your next webinar. Now, these things up here no longer matter. There was a point in time when these things played a role in differentiation. In other words, your personality, your experience, your track record, your credentials, your backstory, your case studies. In saturated and crowded marketplaces, right, everybody and their brother has case studies. Everybody and their brother has testimonials. Everybody and their brother has some sort of track record. That's not special anymore. That's not enough of a meaningful differentiator today. This stuff no longer. There was a point in time, right? You remember when, like, McDonald's would talk about how many people they served, or businesses used to talk about how long they've been in business? How many of you are old enough to remember that? Right? Like, where it was like, we've been in business for 40 years. Today, people don't care, thanks to, right, the tech industry, thanks to internet startups, right, where things go from nothing to wildly popular in 2 years. That length of time in business is no longer meaningful to the majority of the marketplace. Today, there are only two effective ways for meaningful differentiation. Two, and that's it. Now, as a side note, to take a step back for 1 second, I'm not talking here about differentiation in terms of your brand. Like, I'm not talking about differentiating your brand and having your brand associated with polar bears or whatnot. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about differentiating your solution the solution to your prospect's problem. How do you show them, how do you show your prospects that you've got something different and better than everybody else out there, right? Remember that what people are interested in, write this down, those of you that are taking notes, write this down, that what people are interested in, what gets attention is different. But that's not enough to produce the conversion. What then produces the conversion is superior. In other words, what people want is the superior solution. They want the superior system, the superior process, the superior methodology. Different gets attention, superior produces the conversion. I always say, right, how many of you have ever searched online for like how to lose weight or how to get abs? Right? Yeah, none of you, right. Yeah, like nobody in here is like, how many of you, raise your hand. How many of you, right? None of you searched for the third best way to lose weight. Right? Because you want the superior process. You want the best. You want the superior method. Right? And so different gets attention. Superior is what produces the conversion.